Okay, so you're out there, maybe sipping some coffee, maybe stuck in traffic, and you're thinking, man, I'd love to invest in some real estate back home in Abuja.
It's a dream for a lot of us, right? That connection to home and, of course, the potential for some solid returns.
Exactly. But then reality hits. How do you even start navigating the Abuja real estate market from, well, thousands of miles away?
Yeah, the time difference alone can be a killer, let alone trying to verify if a property is the real deal or just some blurry photos and a promise.
It's like playing a real-life game of trust no one with your hard-earned money on the line. That's why this episode's deep dive caught my eye. We're looking at Great Mind Shelter, a company that claims to bridge that gap for diaspora investors looking at Abuja real estate.
And right off the bat, what struck me is they're not just some overseas company with a slick website. They make it clear they're based on Abuja. They're on the ground in the thick of it.
And that's huge in a market as dynamic and, let's be honest, as unpredictable as Abuja's. They even talk about how their team is constantly tracking the pulse of the market. What's hot, what's not, what areas are booming, stuff you wouldn't catch from browsing listings online, right?
Totally. You'd be surprised how quickly things change. Information from just a few months ago could be outdated.
Yeah.
And they emphasize they're not just enthusiasts. Oh, no. They've got a team of seasoned professionals, lawyers, market analysts, you name it. Which, let's be real, that's reassuring when you're entrusting someone with potentially your life savings.
Oh, absolutely. It's that proven track record thing, right? It's one thing to say you can handle Abuja real estate, but to back it up with experience, that's what builds trust. And speaking of trust, they hammer on transparency and security a lot. Which makes sense because that's got to be concern number one for diaspora investors.
Exactly. And they don't just throw around vague terms like secure transactions. They mention using robust systems, adhering to regulations. Now, of course, the devil's in the details. What specific regulations are we talking about? What systems are in place to protect your investment?
Those are the questions you'd want to ask up front. Don't be afraid to dig deeper, demand specifics. But to their credit, at least they're addressing that need for security head on, which is more than some companies do. Now, here's where it gets really interesting for someone sitting across the globe. Virtual property tours.
Okay, this is a game changer. Forget about booking flights just to view a potential property. They're talking about high-quality virtual tours, giving you a real feel for the place from the comfort of your own home.
Talk about convenience. And it's not just a quick walkthrough. They mention providing detailed reports alongside these tours. Think market analysis, legal checks, even insights into the neighborhood. Like, is it family-friendly? What's the vibe? All that good stuff.
They're essentially equipping you to make an informed decision without even setting foot in Abuja. Which, again, speaks to that transparency thing they keep highlighting. Now, of course, the elephant in the room, or should I say, the lion in the room, given we're talking Abuja, is always going to be secure transactions. They mention adhering to regulations, but it would be wise to understand what those regulations entail, especially concerning foreign investors. Are there any specific laws protecting your investment? How do currency fluctuations impact your returns? These are questions worth exploring.
Absolutely. It all circles back to doing your homework. This deep dive gave us a peek into one company's approach, but the bigger takeaway here is, what are your non-negotiables? What level of due diligence do you need to feel comfortable investing from afar? Great Mind Shelter might offer a piece of the puzzle, but ultimately the responsibility to make an informed decision rests with you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time.